Deep within the Earth's fiery heart, a primal force stirs. Volcanoes, those magnificent and terrifying giants, offer a glimpse into the immense power that created our planet. They are a stark reminder of nature's raw energy, capable of both creation and destruction on a scale that dwarfs our human endeavors. For millennia, these fiery mountains have captivated our imaginations and instilled a primal fear in our hearts. Today, across the globe, a chorus of rumbles echoes from these fiery behemoths. From the fiery heart of Kilauea to the majestic slopes of Mount Fuji, a symphony of seismic whispers speaks of an impending threat. Scientists, armed with ever-evolving technology, listen intently to these whispers, analyzing every tremor, every groan, every exhalation of volcanic gases. The Earth, it seems, is speaking to us, and it is a message we cannot afford to ignore. The question is not if, but when the next catastrophic eruption will occur. The signs are unmistakable. A surge in seismic activity, a telltale increase in ground deformation, and the rising breath of volcanic gases all paint a picture of growing unrest within these fiery giants. Magma, a molten cocktail of rock and dissolved gases, pushes its way towards the surface, seeking an escape route. The Earth speaks to us in whispers and roars, and it is our duty to listen. Before a volcano erupts, it offers a symphony of warnings, a crescendo of activity that heralds the impending fury. Seismic activity, the trembling pulse of the Earth, is often the first sign that something is amiss. Sensitive instruments, strategically placed around active volcanoes, pick up the slightest tremors, the faintest hints of magma pushing through the Earth's crust. Ground deformation, a more visible sign of volcanic unrest, occurs as magma forces its way upwards, causing the Earth's surface to bulge and warp. Using sophisticated GPS instruments and satellite imagery, scientists can track these subtle changes in the landscape, measuring the Earth's breath as it strains under the pressure. Perhaps the most ominous sign of an impending eruption is the release of volcanic gases. As magma rises towards the surface, it releases gases that have been trapped within the Earth for millennia. Sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and water vapor, the very breath of the volcano, escape through fissures and vents, painting the air with an eerie, sulfurous haze. Across the globe, a network of volcanoes stands as silent sentinels, their majestic slopes belying the fiery potential that lies within. Kilauea, the fiery heart of Hawaii, is a restless giant. Its molten lava flows a constant reminder of the Earth's raw power. Mount Fuji, Japan's iconic peak, stands as a symbol of serenity and beauty, yet beneath its snow-capped summit lies a fiery heart, capable of unleashing untold devastation. And then there is Mount Vesuvius, looming over the bustling city of Naples, its history etched in fire and ash, a constant reminder of the destructive power of nature. These are but a few of the many volcanoes around the world that are under constant surveillance by scientists. Using an array of sophisticated instruments, they monitor every tremor, every gas emission, every subtle change in the landscape. They study the history of these fiery giants, analyzing past eruptions to understand their behavior and predict future events. The goal is to provide timely warnings, to give communities living in the shadow of these volcanoes the best chance of survival. For the millions of people living in the shadow of these fiery giants, the threat of an eruption is a constant reality.
Imagine a world shrouded
in a perpetual twilight. The sun, a distant memory, its life-giving warmth choked by a veil of volcanic ash. This is the chilling prospect of a volcanic winter, a global catastrophe triggered by the eruption of a supervolcano, an event of such unimaginable scale that it could plunge our planet into darkness and chaos. When a supervolcano erupts, it doesn't just spew lava and ash, it unleashes a torrent of sulfur dioxide into the stratosphere, a region of the atmosphere that acts as a global highway for air currents. These sulfur dioxide emissions, once aloft, transform into sulfate aerosols, tiny particles that reflect sunlight back into space, effectively dimming the sun's rays and plunging the planet into a state of perpetual twilight. The year 1816, the year following Tambara's eruption, became known as the year without a sun, a chilling testament to the global reach of even a relatively small-scale volcanic eruption. The consequences of a supervolcanic eruption will be felt far and wide, disrupting agriculture, plunging temperatures, and triggering widespread famine. The very fabric of civilization, so reliant on a stable climate and readily available resources, would be tested to its core.
The skies above us, once a symbol of freedom and limitless expanse, would transform into a no-fly zone, a testament to the far-reaching chaos unleashed by a major volcanic eruption. Volcanic ash, a seemingly innocuous byproduct of these fiery events, poses a grave threat to aviation. Its microscopic particles capable of crippling even the most sophisticated aircraft. These particles, composed of pulverized rock and glass, are highly abrasive and can wreak havoc on jet engines, causing them to stall or fail completely. The 2010 eruption of Eyjafjallajökull in Iceland, though relatively small in scale, brought European air travel to a standstill, grounding flights for days and causing billions of dollars in economic losses. A major volcanic eruption with its potential for global ash dispersal would have far greater consequences, disrupting air travel on a scale never before witnessed. The skies would darken not with storm clouds but with a thick pall of volcanic ash, grounding planes and severing the arteries of global commerce. In the shadow of these fiery giants, a race against time is underway. Scientists armed with an ever-growing arsenal of technology are working tirelessly to unlock the secrets of volcanoes, to decipher the language of the Earth and predict the unpredictable. Their quest to provide timely warnings, to give communities living in the shadow of these volcanoes the precious gift of time, the chance to evacuate, to prepare to survive. Volcanoes are complex and capricious beasts, their behavior influenced by a myriad of factors, from the composition of the magma to the intricate network of fractures and faults that lie hidden beneath the surface. Scientists are developing new techniques for monitoring volcanic activity, using networks of seismometers monitors to track even the slightest tremors, analyzing gas emissions for telltale changes in composition, and employing satellite imagery to detect subtle ground deformation. They are developing computer models that incorporate vast amounts of data, attempting to simulate the complex interplay of forces that drive volcanic eruptions. The goal is not to prevent eruptions but to provide timely warnings to give communities the best chance of survival. In the face of nature's fury, knowledge is power, and time is the most precious commodity of all. Early warning systems, those vital lifelines of information, are crucial for mitigating the devastating impact of volcanic eruptions. These systems, a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to harness technology for the greater good, are becoming increasingly sophisticated, providing communities with critical time to evacuate, to seek shelter, to prepare for the onslaught of ash and lava. Sirens blare, text messages flash across mobile phones, and radio broadcasts interrupt their regular programming, all carrying the same urgent message: the volcano is awakener. Every second counts as communities spring into action, evacuation routes are opened, and emergency shelters swing open their doors. The coordinated response, a testament to meticulous planning and community preparedness, aims to minimize casualties and ensure the safety of those living in the shadow of the volcano. These early warning systems rely on a network of sensors strategically placed around the volcano, constantly monitoring for signs of unrest. As we stand on the precipice of an uncertain future, the fiery breath of volcanoes serves as a stark reminder of the awesome power of nature and our own vulnerability in the face of such forces. The question is not if, but when the next major eruption will occur. The future lies in vigilance, in our collective responsibility to prepare for the inevitable, to mitigate the risks, and to build resilient communities capable of withstanding the fiery wrath of these geological giants. We must heed the warnings whispered by the Earth, investing in cutting-edge research and technology to better understand and predict volcanic activity. Early warning systems, those critical lifelines of information, must be expanded and strengthened, ensuring that communities at risk have the time they need to react and evacuate. By embracing a proactive approach, by prioritizing preparedness over complacency, we can mitigate the risks and build a safer future for all who live in the shadow of these fiery giants.